Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐂. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 8:24 a.m. on Eastern Time on October 5th on Wednesday. Hope you guys have a good week so far and a good hump day with respect to today being a Wednesday. Ethereum closed at $1,333, down about 2.10% so far. On the overall crypto market, you could see that right now the key coins are both red at the moment, down about 2% respectively. On the altcoin side of the house, is following through just as well. Some altcoins are a little bit more severe than other, knowing the fact that they're less price sensitive. So the selling pressure typically will be a little bit more volatile in comparisons to the key coins. But across the spectrum, you could see that on the left side of the chart, we're collectively kind of following through with the whole macro market, down about 2% respectively. And on the index front, on the equity side, we are currently just kind of gliding away on the pre-market perspective, down about 1% so far, knowing the fact that yesterday was a relatively healthy day across the spectrum, as you know, a lot of hedge funds and on the equity side specifically, seems like we are at the cusp of breaking down to a next level of resistance, basically holding on by the ledge or by the cliff on the verge of breaking into a recessionary territory down below to a certain level. And for the recessionary perspective, let's just like use that in an apples to apples comparison. That technically will translate into somewhere around 1,050 for Ethereum to, anything below 1,000 would consider that, territory. And if you apply that into the equity side of the equation, that's technically somewhere around where we were before, around 320 on the SPY front. So we will dive into the technicals in a bit to see how's the story playing out going forward. Has anything changed so far on the technical front? But before we do that, let's just take a look at the news together, shall we? So it seems like with respect to the overall market today, as we mentioned, the opening or the future perspective across the spectrum, still red, right, down about 1%, not like significantly, but the 10-year yield is still high at 3.7%. Oil is still kind of levitating, fluctuating quite a lot. And with respect to some of the news that we've seen so far, it seems like there are some, BS news around the Twitter acquisitions, obviously cultivated by Elon Musk. If I was him, I would probably wait it out. But I think there is like a contractual mechanism in the legal contract that they have agreed on, to purchase at a certain level, a certain price point. But obviously, with the depreciation that we have seen across the stock market, 75% down so far, seeing lower levels can be impossibility. So some hedge funds might take the wrong side of the bet or the right side of the bet. So it seems like there's a Florida based hedge fund could reap around $200 million on the Twitter arbitrage bet that he or she's currently doing. And the surge of 22%, this seems like more of a news than an actual, more like a rumor than an actual confirmatory news. So, I would suggest maybe we could, we'll dive into the technical to see what that really means. But up 22%, based on the news, typically is an opportunity for a sell. You basically buy the rumor, sell the news. So this news came out can be a good tactical next step for you to exit, if possible. So we'll dive into that in a bit. And with respect to the job numbers out of ADP report, it seems like the numbers came out to be a little bit more rosy than expected. So that's another good proponent. But obviously September, this will be a foreshadow on the upcoming CPI report that's coming out in approximately a week from now. So we will have to watch out for that. That could not, that's another major catalyst that we have to be expecting. But beside that, across the spectrum, I don't see any major news. But obviously keep an eye out on it as the days do rates, right? So let's take a look at the Twitter, as an example. What's the Twitter? There we go. So here's Twitter. So Twitter is trading at $52 per share, up 22.24% so far. Let's take a look at the weekly. seems quite extended. It seems like we are getting blocked at somewhere around, obviously the reason we got to 52 is because that's the level that we will ideally get canceled at the resistance level of 52 that would form on the 4th of not the 4th, on April 29th, also on December, also on last year in May, and also a bunch of times back in earlier 2 years ago. So that's the reason why we got at 52. But the next level of pump is going to be somewhere like to $61. But the weekly is quite extended. And we're very overbought at 67 out of 70 at the moment. So I would say weekly looks quite extended. So risk is definitely high. On the daily, very extended. We're crazy overbought at 80 out of 70 right now. And at the same time, we've crossed up for quite some time, obviously with this mega green candle. So, so daily and weekly look quite extended. So risk is definitely high. But on the monthly, you could see that monthly is looking to golden cross shortly. And this is a pretty mega golden cross that we're about to be, seeing. So would I be buying now? It seems like it's quite mixed, right? But I do foresee some sort of a short-term, profit taking because of this 22% pump in a very short term. But seeing a slight correction, maybe coming down to, let's see what level can we come down back to somewhere maybe around 45, and then pump up again if we get more confirmatory news. And obviously with respect to the Santa Claus rally that we're expecting by November to December, allowing for this cross section to complete makes sense, right? So Twitter is quite mixed, right? But I wouldn't be chasing it at the moment right now. I would actually be taking maybe a logical profit, maybe 20% off the profit that you have made so far. 22% is not a small gains, obviously. It's a very good one for one day of just profit taken. And this is obviously a news driven event, so nothing really confirmatory. So you typically would want to take the safe approach by risk mitigating by buy the rumor, sell the news. So technically now would be the perfect time to sell the news, if you may, right? Does that make sense? So that's Twitter. So let's just go back to the technical with respect to recording time of 8:31 a.m. on the Eastern time. Hopefully the Twitter analysis made sense for us. On the overall market, on the Ethereum front, weekly is still very bearish. Daily is still very bearish as well. You can see that we are already rejecting the higher level of 47 out of 70. Again, monthly is still quite bullish, right? Looking at some level of consolidation and then eventually ramp up from here. So with respect to Bitcoin, down 2%, I would say same thing. Quite bullish on the monthly. Weekly is still quite stale. You can see that we're kind of lingering around 20,000 again, right? 20,000 is not a level. 21,500 is a real level. And then with respect to daily, very bearish as well. So something to think about, right? So we're basically about like 7 days ish away from the CPAP report taking effect. Obviously we will get some more. I think Monday is coming up on the 10th is Columbus Day. I'm not sure if there's any trading volume on that day because it's like a holiday. And I think it might the market might be closed. I'm talking about the equity market, obviously. So we might see some anticipatory pressure until the 13th, which I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see a better verbiage. But based on what we know so far, daily and weekly are still bearish, right? Until we kind of recuperate from there. Okay. So appreciate you. It seems like we've been staying flat the whole time I've been speaking at 1333. Maybe this is a sign, like the triple angel numbers, if that makes any sense. I've been seeing a lot of those number synchronicity recently, like 1111, 1111, 333, as we are seeing this collectively right now. So I'm not superstitious, but it's quite interesting. Anyways, appreciate you. Have a good day, and best of luck. Take care.